So, Mr. Lawn, what benefits do you think Alec Hunter will see from becoming an academy?
The main reason for me in us becoming an academy is about improving the school. There are lots of things which are talked about academy status, about the fact that it gives schools extra freedom over their curriculum, freedom over their budgets, and all of those things are definitely benefits to becoming an academy. But for me, always the most important thing is about school improvement. And if we can achieve that through academy status in partnership with another school, then that's got to be a good thing.
What challenges will Alec Hunter face due to the academy status?
Well, because we haven't had control over some of those areas before, I think some of the people, particularly in the administration side of things, are going to have to get used to making decisions over how we spend money on things which previously had just been given to us by the local authority. And so we're going to have much more control over things within the school, and that's going to mean that obviously we have to get involved in areas we've not been involved in before, and that will mean a bit of a learning curve for all of us.
Many half-decent schools are being forced into academy status by deliberately low Ofsted reports. How do you feel about this?
I think it's a very good question. I think it would have been easy previously when schools in the first round of academy conversions tended to be, as you say, Chloe, schools which had low Ofsted reports, which were schools which were perhaps perceived as failing, which were the schools that converted to become academies in the first place. When I think the new government's programme of conversion to academies was aimed at outstanding schools, the balance kind of shifted a little bit, and now there's not that same stigma attached to converting to become an academy, which there was before. Schools of all kinds are converting to become academies. Outstanding schools, some kind of mediocre schools, some schools which, as you say, have had a bit of a bad Ofsted report, and I don't think it's a sense of being forced into becoming an academy. We wanted to become an academy anyway, and we can see the benefits in that. Our Ofsted report perhaps just made sure that happened a bit quicker than it might have done otherwise.
In what way will Saffron Walden assist Alec Hunter to improve?
It's a great question, Zoe. I mean, we've already found that the partnership between our two schools is having an impact. We've got some very good, strong teachers from Saffron Walden who are coming over and working in some of our departments that need to improve, and are monitoring teaching and learning, are bringing some of their ideas. We've had a joint training session for staff about marking, which of course is very key to all of our students. We want you to get really good written feedback. And written feedback is one of the hard things that teachers don't always look forward to when you've got big piles of marking to do. But it's very, very important because we know it makes a big impact on your learning. And so we want to get it right, but we want to get it in a way that helps staff to get it done more effectively. And so we've done some really good joint training about marking, and hopefully you've started seeing things like closing the gap being talked about in your lessons, and maybe some more frequent and more beneficial marking for you. But that's just one example. So we've got people working in maths, we've got people working in the English department, we've got the head teacher of that outstanding school working very closely with me to help me lead the school as well, and so we're already seeing lots of areas where we're benefiting. Important point to make there though, Zoe, is that there are lots of our ideas which are going back the other way as well. So for example, you know in your English books you've got all that information at the front which tells you about the different level descriptors. The first time someone visited from Saffron Walden, they saw that, they said, oh, we really like this, we're going to take that idea back to our school as well. So it's certainly not a case of we're a weaker school which is being supported by a stronger school. It's very much a partnership, and where these things have happened in all across the country, where schools get together, both schools actually then improve as a result, and that's what we're hoping for.
And finally, what specific changes do you feel students will be able to benefit from?
Well, the specific changes that I see mostly, Chloe, would be, as I say, in the quality of what's going on in the classroom, because that's, for me, what this is all about. I would like to think as well, because we've got more control over our budget, that we will be able to decide where we spend our money, and we can focus that towards things which will move the school forward. And we always refer to the College Council over things which they think are most important when we're spending our money, and you may have some ideas about where money should be spent around the school. We might have a bit more to spend, and we can do those kind of projects. And also we'll have some control over our curriculum, which might mean again that we can not do some subjects which we've been obliged to do before by the national curriculum, but we might be able to introduce other courses which are more suited to certain sections of our student population. That's something we'll be investigating, but we're not going to make any changes straight away. We're going to think very carefully before we do that.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.